time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show, man. I'm here live, and I'm waiting on my man, Christopher Burton. Christopher Burton will be on here in just a little bit, guys. At least that's what he's telling me. He's coming. So, guys, I'm going to wait before I get jump into rating and talking about NXT. So I'm just going to wait until Chris get on in here. But, guys, hey, we had a great show yesterday, NXT, and I did watch a little bit of Dynamite today. I haven't watched the whole thing. But we're going to talk about NXT, and I guess we can get into Monday Night Raw, man. We did both watch that, and to tell you the truth, I forgot to go ahead and put that on here, man. I was going to go ahead and, but yeah, we'll talk about Monday Night Raw too. But hopefully Christopher Burton will be in here in just a moment, guys, and we'll get into this straight up. But hey, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys out here, man, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Appreciate everything that each and every one of you guys do. Because, man, hey, Straight Up Wrestling Show has just went over 250,000 views since we started in June 2021. And, man, we definitely appreciate that. We had 740 subscribers. We definitely appreciate the subscribers and everything. But we appreciate everybody coming in, man, riding with us, rocking with us, even, not just the people that's with us right now, but the people that's been with us in the past, man. Everybody that's or the people that's just coming in and seeing us every now and then. We definitely appreciate you guys coming and rocking with our product, man. I mean, the things that we do, the original things that we do live and sometimes do the videos, and sometimes we have recordings, or sometimes we go live. We have went live when we've been at wrestling shows, doing independent shows, when Chris and I, commentating with our old partner, Danny Paris, or we're commentating by ourselves. But we definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in, man, rocking with us while we're on this journey. While we're on this journey with the Straight Up Wrestling Show, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. But yesterday, Tuesday night was a pretty good show. And like I said, man, I'm gonna give this thing a little while before I get into it, and I'm waiting for Christopher Burton to come in. And man, like I said, had a good show. And I saw Tuesday night, AEW, from what everybody was saying, it was a pretty good show. So, man, I want to go ahead and finish watching that. I haven't finished watching that. I've only really gotten started. Like, I was whooping like the first 15 minutes of it and saw that. Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. That was the match I was in, and they started off with a good promo with Christian Cage. So, hey, definitely check that out. But one thing that Chris showed me a little bit earlier today, somebody was taking pictures of their last show, that Dynamite show, man, and I didn't like what I saw as far as the fans in the arena, man. They really need to pick up their house shows. Not house shows. I'm going to say their shows, because they're really not bringing in the fans the way they were before. They definitely need to do something. They need to look at things a different way and market their product a little different to see what's going on, and go into smaller arenas, because actually Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage will look excellent in smaller arenas, guys, because you want the thing to be packed out. You want everything to look good on TV. So, hey, no shame in going into the smaller arenas, guys, straight up. Man, I might have to refresh here in just a moment, but give me just a minute, guys. Let me go. I'm going into my laptop. I want to make sure that I am getting comments and everything like that. I don't want nobody coming in, commenting, and can't, I'm not communicating with anybody. Okay. But yeah. All right. But yeah, I'm talking to my daughter. My daughter will be coming by the house tomorrow, and I got to take her to the airport tomorrow. She'll be flying into Houston. But yeah, appreciate everybody, man, coming in. And if you coming in this first time, you done been and you seen the Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys, this is what we do all the time. Hey, if you come in, you see the Straight Up Wrestling Show, you like the content, or you like what's going on, hit that like, share, join. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 like times like these when you see us on, and do the same thing over on Twitch. And if you are on X, formerly known as Twitter, you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet, and follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show over on Twitter, guys. So, hey, definitely, man, just come and check this thing out, bro. Check it out, man. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we're definitely going to continue to rock for you guys. Rock and roll, man. We're going to get this thing done. All right. But like I said, I'm still waiting on Chris. Chris was working on something for his wife, putting together a vacuum cleaner. So I'm just going to wait on, try to wait on him, man. Hopefully he'll be getting in here sometime soon. Sometime soon he'll be getting in here. Let's see. All right. Trying to find live here, guys. Want to get on here so I don't get interrupted or anything like that. And I can be looking at my tablet too and seeing what's going on here. All right, man. I got some background noise. Got some people watching TV. I'm doing this in a different room than what my wife had. But yeah, guys, trying to keep up with some things. I probably can get into something else in just a moment. All right, man. Yeah, I see people in here commenting. That's not going on my screen, so I'm gonna have to go and I'm about to refresh this thing in just a moment here, guys. Anthony Manzano, hi Harry and Chris. Hi Chris and Harry. What's up, Anthony? Glad that you're in the house, man. Green Round. I watched both shows. I believe AEW had the better show, but that's that NXT probably won tonight. NXT, did you watch? You said you watched both shows. NXT did win tonight. They won by 300,000 fans, man. I mean, as far as views, over more than 300,000 views. So yeah, they definitely won tonight. They won that night. Anthony Manzano, have a theory about the personal. Brian Pillman Jr. is portraying in those promos. He's a delusional second generation star that is refusing to admit that he's a carbon copy of his father. That's true. That's true. All right, Green Roundup. All the WWE fans are high on this win, acting like the whole Wednesday night war never happened. Not trying to sound like those crazy AEW marks. Well, I can understand what you're saying there, Green Randall. But hey, it did happen. But you know what? It's really nothing to harp on, man. And I will go with what Triple H said. I mean, they were going up against developmental, but they won it either way. Either way go. AEW won the war. That right there. If you want to call it a war, they did win. My thing about it is this: when it comes to Wednesday night, Tony got a little upset. He called Triple H, and he pretty much shouted out some nasty words to Triple H and Vince McMahon, man. Because look, they brought these stars over, and everybody can look at it either way. Go, hey, they had to bring these stars over. They brought people from the main roster to come on that. But the whole thing about it is, you competing against the company, you competing against everything that they have, and that's one thing that they didn't do before. They could have done that before. What they done Tuesday night, NXT could have done that before. I mean, WWE could have done that before, but they decided not to do it. But the truth of the matter is, if WWE would have won yesterday, if they would have beat them in the ratings, Tony Khan would be bragging about that today. He really would, Green Randall. Man, it don't really matter. My whole thing about it is, how can NXT shouldn't have to worry about old stars or whatever coming, or the big time names coming onto NXT or whatever. Your product needs to be so good and so strong, you don't have to worry about that. That's one thing I'll say about WCW. WCW, they never had to really worry about losing their core fans. This is before the shutdown that last time. Wow, guys, give me just a moment. You look like I'm dragging a little bit. I want to change my settings, but yeah, build stars. That's where it comes from. Build stars. And WWE, not WWE, AEW stars, most of their stars came from WWE. When you build your own stars, you don't have to worry about anything else. Build your own stars. WCW, they built, Jim Crockett Promotions. They built Sting. They built Nikita Koloff. They built Lex Luger. They built the Steiner brothers. They put people in place. They, Ric Flair. They had guys that was homegrown talent, guys that grew up in their region, that was very strong. And, they didn't have to worry about their fans jumping over to watch the other product. and that's what needs to happen with AEW. This right here is a good thing. When it boils down to it, it's a good thing for Tony Khan that he did lose. I wasn't hoping that he lose or anything like that. I don't want him to lose bad. I wanted it to be close because we need both. We need both companies to be successful. No ends, ands, and buts about it. Because hey, like I said, if AEW falls by the wayside, man, we just looking at WWE, and everybody can say, hey, we got Impact Wrestling, we got MLW, we got all these other guys out there, out there waiting on the wayside. They can take AEW's place, but no, we don't. No, we don't. These guys don't have the money, and they just don't have. They're not built to try to take on WWE, and we don't want WWE just to be out there by themselves on the island again. If that happens, then we're going to continue to get what we was getting before, and everybody's going to hate on WWE as much as possible. So Tony Khan has to get into a situation. I don't care what he has to hand off or whatever. Give Tony Schiavone Ring of Honor if he wants to continue to do AEW Dynamite Rampage. Give him Ring of Honor, and then he concentrates on those two and Collision, and have somebody in there helping him out with Collision. But Tony Khan needs to really sit down and think. He really needs to sit down and think and say, how can I structure these matches? How can I structure everything to make it a great storyline so we can continue on and we can battle and we can build stars, man. I'm not talking about building somebody like Orange Cassidy, just building Orange Cassidy. Yeah, you built them into a star because you pushed them in everybody's face for a long time. But you need to build people like Wardlow. You need to build Powerhouse Hobbs. You need to build Ricky Starks. And I know that you're building Ricky Starks over there at Collision. You're doing a pretty good job, but we've seen this before. So, and FTR, they came from WWE. But, man, you need to build your homegrown talent, and they just need to be the best in the world, man. You make them to where they're the best in the world, because that's one thing I will say about WCW. Even though WWE was the bigger company, the wrestlers in WCW was always better, straight up. All right, let's see. All right, look like the stuff is coming in. Good job. All right, Anthony Manzano, hi, Harry and Chris, and Green Randall said he watched both shows. And somebody just said, sup, bro, over there on Facebook. Let me see who that is, man. Wait a minute, I can't really see that. Okay. Wow. Okay. My daughter keeps texting me, man, talking about her flight and everything. I already had got that. Okay. I get whoever that is on Facebook. Mr. Christopher Burton is in the house. What's up, man? Christopher Burton is here.
What's going on?
All right.
How y'all
I haven't started with the matches or anything like that. But check who that is on Facebook, man. It says, sup, bro. All right, Anthony Manzano, I have a theory about personal Brian Pillman Jr. Yeah, you say he's portraying in those promos. He's a delusional second-generation star that is refusing to admit that he's a carbon copy of his father. No doubt, man, no doubt. Facebook user, how you feel about Rock's daughter talking to Paul Heyman? Man, I only seen a little bit of that. I've seen that she was talking to Paul Heyman, so it looked like she might be joining up with Roman Reigns and everything. All I can really say is going to help Ava. It's really gonna help her if she gets in with that group. She gets in with Paul Heyman. Just the advice that they will be able to give her. She will. It definitely will help her immensely if she's around those. If she's around that group, and I know she's around them anyway, even though she's not actually in the group. But it's definitely gonna bring a higher profile to her, and hopefully, man, hopefully Paul Heyman can pull some strings. She's over there mainly she goes to the main roster, and she's out there hanging out with them. She's hanging around with the best women wrestlers in the world, and males too. So all it can do is help her, man, in the long
that's
run.
A man, Brian Gunnels said, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah, I kind of figured it was Bullet by the way he said that when he introduced himself. Said, "Sup, bro?" Because Brian always come off like that. All right, Brian, appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here, brother. And Brian Bullet, professional wrestler, guys. Brian says the 28th is his last day. Brian, we need to get you on and interview you about that, man.
Yeah, he's saying that's gonna be his last one, man. He said he's hanging up the boots, man. I'm like,
he says that's the last. That's the last of the deal, man. That's he's letting it go, man. Hey, he's watching it. It's a watch. He's canceling this thing. So we'll see. We need to talk to you about that, Bullet. All right. Green Round, all the WWE fans are high on this win, acting like the whole Wednesday night warrior. I just already read that. Never happened. Not trying to sound like those crazy AEW marks. I understand what you're saying, Green Randall. But like I said, that's one thing I was putting out there, that, hey, it happened. Of course it happened. But, the same thing, like I said, and I'm just being straight up, the same thing that happened Tuesday night, WWE could have done that back then. They could have been doing this, if they wanted to. But they just didn't do it. All right, Anthony Manzano, that's how this character started out. But down the road, he finally realized that he's a carbon copy of his father, Brian Sr., and he starts adopting the loose cannon characters. Man, Brian Pillman Jr., that's one thing I think a lot of people like about Brian Pillman Jr., because, he got into the loose cannon thing after the Hollywood Blondes when he went up to the WWE, and then he got into that thing with Steve Austin for a while, and, he had that loose cannon type thing. I did not follow him then. I really did.
Yeah, he was, I followed him then, Harry, and he was definitely, man, he was definitely that crazy, because there's a story, man, that Jim Ross told about Brian Pillman. They were at a Comic-Con or some kind of wrestling fest or something.
Yeah.
And Brian Pillman was on his way out of WCW, trying to get on the WWE. And he was already in talks, and he just happened to, meet up at this Comic-Con, and Vince was there. And he walks up to Vince and JR and completely goes nuts, just goes ape shit in front of everybody, the people, and just flipping off Vince and just throwing stuff, just going crazy. And JR was like, "What the hell?" It's like, "What do you do?" He's like, "What are you doing, man? Hey, don't you know this is Vince? You're in talks with him. You could blow your opportunity."
Right.
And after, some stuff that happened and security was getting ready to escort him out, JR's like, hey, let me talk to him. He's like, "What the heck?" He's like, "What was that all about? What's wrong with you?" He's like, "Hey, I'm working it, man. It's all the work. It's all the work." And JR was like, right then I knew this Joker is a nutcase, but he is smart as hell.
Right.
Because he said from that point on, Vince could not stop talking about him. Like, this Brian Pillman Jr., this guy, wow, I could do something with this guy. Man. He said from wherever they were leaving, all the way back to Connecticut, that's all Vince could talk about.
Dang, and I was man, like, wow.
That was it sounded crazy, but it was smart.
Yeah, I understand, man.
Yeah, man. Brian Pillman, he was, go ahead, man.
And I think that's where he basically got his popularity, just basically boomed. And a lot of people started talking about him, and that he's this, that he was good, he was this and that. Because anytime people say that, because my last memory of him, like I said, he did win a world tag team titles, WCW World Tag Team titles with Steve Austin. But to me, Steve Austin was really the gun in that group. He's the one who really carried that team. So that, and Brian Pillman before that, Brian Pillman was he was like a Brad Armstrong type wrestler, in my opinion. What he was. He would win some, he would lose some. That's it. He wasn't no dominant wrestler in WCW. You know that, Chris. He won one title over there, tag team titles. Well, he won a junior heavyweight championship, I believe. He won a junior heavyweight championship, NWA junior heavyweight championship, but he wasn't dominant over there. Do you remember him being dominant?
He wasn't junior heavyweight. He was more, was he a junior heavyweight?
Yes, he was junior heavyweight at first. Yes, I think he was one of the first ones that got the junior heavyweight championship when they first went to WCW. I'm not sure now, but he was a junior heavyweight at one time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember what, but I'm pretty sure he won one and he lost it. Because he wrestled Jushin Thunder Liger and everything. I remember.
Oh, he wrestled him a million times, man.
What's that?
He wrestled that guy. He wrestled Jushin Thunder Liger.
That's when he was a light
Jushin Thunder Liger a million times, man.
Yeah, he was a small guy, man. I mean, Brian Pillman, when it boiled down to, he was muscular, but he was a small guy. But you know, I remember
Yeah.
one of the first times I seen him. I never forget him and Black Bart, man, in the ring against each other. Black Bart kept calling, "You want to fly, Brian?" Just didn't fly. He kept throwing him out the ring. Brian was just flying everywhere. But that just cracked me up, man. Look, I thought he was really good. I thought he had a lot of I thought he had a lot of great qualities about him. But you know, when I sit and I talk about him, because I remember because Nick Fury came in and said, "Man, Brian Pillman, one of the best, man. I love him. He's one of my favorite wrestlers." I was talking about him one time when you wasn't on the podcast. And I was like, "Sorry, Nick." I was like, I just don't remember him being anything special. And I know doing that loose cannon thing, which I had stopped watching wrestling, but I remember everybody used to be talking about Brian Pillman. I'm like, Brian Pillman. But the buzz started about Brian Pillman. I remember when Brian Pillman had that gun. Because remember that when he had that
USA
gun?
didn't know nothing about that, man. Then
I know.
I remember that, man. Yeah, that was with him and Austin, man.
Yeah, that
he was
right
like
there.
Because he was like Austin 316 meets Pillman Glock 9mm. Boy, I remember that raw, boy. That raw.
But yeah, after that, man,
I remember that.
A lot of people talk about the turn. What turned the fans in when the WWE took over. I remember that episode. The next week, everybody was watching WWE. I know a lot of people come up with a lot of other different scenarios. Tatiana was talking about it on one of her reviews. She said that it turned when Eric Bischoff got on there.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, you frozen now, man. Just come on back in.
Okay. I'll be
right back. You frozen. But yeah, Tatiana was saying she remembered that it had turned. She said it turned when Eric Bischoff gave the results. But no, that's not when it turned. It turned a little bit after that. But it turned when Brian Pillman was over there with that gun. Talking about that Austin 316 thing. I will never forget that. And the next week, I was like, wow, I'm pretty sure that's going to bring everybody to the yard, man. And I think that's the first week after that, the next week is when he first lost after that 83 straight weeks or something like that. And it went downhill from there, man. But WWE went downhill for WCW. All right. But yeah, let me get on into everything, man. Make sure. Okay, guys, I know we've got a whole bunch, man, I haven't got to. But yeah, we're going to get into all these comments. Chris will be back as soon as this thing comes back up. All right, Anthony Manzano, his dad played through most of his career before he passed away, sadly. Yeah, that was sad, man. He died a young man, man. He really did. All right, Anthony Manzano. Harry, have you been able to see the movie trailer for The Claw, the movie about the Von Erich family? No, haven't seen that, Anthony. Definitely gonna have to check that out when Chris comes back, man. We're gonna have to go back to that. But no, I haven't seen that. But yeah, all right. Anthony says, Green Randall says, Anthony, I don't think the resolution to Junior's character should be accepting that he is a carbon copy of his father. Taking him in a new direction is a good idea. That's true. Green Randall, because basically he was kind of like a carbon copy of his father over in AEW. All right, Green Randall. Also, WWE hates using gimmicks and names from other companies and will avoid them as much as possible. Yeah, they do. They do. Green Randall. Harry, I will not try to spoil anything, but in the last second switch, Mops was taken out of the title match and replaced by the OC. Okay. Wow. By OC. Okay. Green Randall, I understand what you're saying. What are you? We're so young, they can't build their own stars, and they need to establish stars to carry their roster, and they are putting their homegrown talent up. Yeah, I got what you're saying, Green Randall, no doubt about it. In great spots. All right, Green Randall, MJF is the world champ. Ricky Starks is one half of the tag champs. Statlander is a TBS champ, and Acclaimed are 2/3 of the tag champs. Yeah, that's true, Green Randall. That's true. But it's one thing to put titles on. It's one thing to put titles on your homegrown talent. It's another thing to build it. So yes, they've done that, but MJF is pretty much hurting everything. He's pretty much hurting everything because he is the world champ. And your company, I'm telling you, is only as strong as your world champ. And only thing that's saving WWE is because they have another strong world champion in Seth Seth freaking Rollins. He's defending that title all the time. And Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion, and he's very strong. That's what's saving them. That's what's saving them. Now, MJF having that title and the Intercontinental Champion, the International Champion, was their second best title holder over there in AEW. And who was defending that title every week? That was Orange Cassidy. And Orange Cassidy got some talent. He's very talented when it boils down to it. But was he the best representative to be this main title holder and make that belt seem like it was the most important belt over there? Because I tell you what, that TNT, the TV belt, whatever the TNT belt, it kind of lost luster. Or was it TBS belt? The TNT belt, it lost luster. It lost luster. And after a while, man, I couldn't even keep up with who had that belt. They pretty much just pushed that by the wayside. To me, it haven't really been that important since Miro had it. All right, Anthony Manzano, Harry, to be honest, Tony needs to stay off Twitter. That's true. Making those crazy comments is going to turn casual fans away from AEW with him constantly bashing WWE. Yeah, he definitely doesn't need to be doing that. He really don't. It just, man, let it be what it is. I mean, you just got to let it be. And just, like I say, continue to grow your product. Don't even worry about what WWE is doing. On Tuesday night, they was going to do that, man. You come over there on Tuesday night, and yes, they was going to do that. They was going to come up with something special because they got tired of their claiming that you was better than WWE. And they say, okay, we're going to do something about this time. And you got to remember, man, even though Vince McMahon and I say Triple H is running the thing right now, and Shawn Michaels, you got to remember, this is Endeavor. You got Ari Daivari, you got so many. You got Dana White over there, and you got Mark Shapiro guy over there. Those guys, man, they're businessmen. They're competitors. So you're gonna have those guys in your ear too. So they probably say, "Hey, man, throw everything at them. Throw everything at them." They don't care. They're not looking to let Tony survive. They don't. It's not that they want to destroy you, but they don't care if you survive or not. They don't care if they crush you. When it boils down to it, but it will serve WWE to make sure that AEW makes it, man, because they're going to make WWE a stronger company, and WWE is going to make them a stronger company in turn. So they both need each other. All right, JL Braun brought in hundreds of thousands of fans. JL, I don't know about hundreds of thousands. But Braun's going to be special. I agree with Undertaker, man. He's going to be special. I hated to see him lose there. Again, like everybody said, man, a lot of podcasters, a lot of people said this is unacceptable, but it is. But still, he ended up being the most memorable thing. What happened? I mean, of course, but from the hands of the Undertaker. But yeah, Braun Breaker, they setting up something big for him. Something gonna come up. But I think he's going through his punishment phase, and I think his punishment phase is basically about up. All right, JL, my biggest gripe was they had Braun get robbed of winning due to Cena's assaulting him. He did. When he got him there, man, that's what slowed him down. Then Brittle Taker did a dirty attack. Wow, man. Green Randall, JL, I know we got off on the wrong foot about that UFC thing. I just want to let you know that you are always a treat to have in this chat. No doubt, man. No doubt. JL, I'm not sure how to interpret that, Randall. No, he was just saying, man, it's fun to have you in the chat, JL. So he's pretty much giving you a compliment, man. Green Randall said, sorry if I was unclear when we first met. And chat, we had a whole fight about the UFC. I just wanted to let you know you're a cool guy. Guys, just give me just a moment. I got to go and get my power source for my laptop, man. Wow, this is crazy. I got to get something new here. All right, just a moment. Just a moment, guys. Be right back. Wake up. Interesting. Dan, you Oprah? All right, guys. Still here. Give me just a second. All right, back on the screen. Hopefully Chris gets back on soon, man. It's taking a while for that thing to reboot, for his computer to reboot. So let me get plugged up before I lose my laptop, which I don't want to lose. All right. Let's see. Once again, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in, and as you come in, definitely hit that like button wherever you at. Hit that like button, man, and if you're on YouTube, man, definitely hit that. Make sure you on that notification bell, so you know when we're coming on. Because I know a lot of people are not getting their notifications, but definitely hit that notification bell. All right, Green Randall. Sorry if that was weird. Okay. Jill, I'm sorry, I don't really remember, but yeah, sorry about the fight. I remember the fight, but guys, it's all good. You guys came through it really good. Green Randall, not much of a fight. It was a while ago. Just wanted to make sure there was no ill will there. Sorry if I made things awkward. JL said, nah, you good. Said, you good, dog. Green Randall, the only reason to have the belts and Cody and Jay is for Cody to win the Classic. That is the only good reason to have them in a tag team. That's true. That's true. Man, but yeah, that tag team, to me, I believe it's going to serve them for 4 to 6 months until Cody get to go after the world belt. But it's going to serve him, man. It's going to be good. But I definitely see Jay and his brother back together at some point in time. I know they've been teaming up for a long time, but they will be back together, man. That team just too good of a team not to be back together. Great Randall will have Cody and Jay lose in the final to either the Bloodline or Waller. In theory, it was really would really enhance the feud. These people took his father's trophy away from him. Yeah. Okay. JL, Brian Pillman started the Attitude Era, the gun, but in reality, Bret Hart snapping kicked off and ignited the Attitude Era. Right. That's true. That's true. JL, sorry, Harrington. How's it going? Everything's going good, JL. What's up, man? All right, Ray Underwood. Brian Pillman won the NWA United States Championship one time. Okay, NWA World Tag Team Championship with Stunning Steve, WCW Light Heavyweight. That's it. It was the Light Heavyweight Championship he won, not Junior Heavyweight Championship. But then it was Light Heavyweight Championship at first. Won that 2 times. Thanks. WCW World Tag Team Championship 1 time. Yeah, I remember now, Ray, about the United States when he had the United States title. He didn't have that long. I do remember that now. I remember his little reign there. And that was like unbelievable that he had that, in my opinion. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I remember him having the light heavyweight championship belt. Maybe Chris will remember that when it comes back. I don't know. He probably won't. Chris, yeah, he used to watch WCW, man, but he was basically all into WWE at that time. He really didn't understand WCW good that much. Jim Crockett Promotions or whatever, but I think he did watch WCW a good bit, but he was wondering why in the world did we like Ric Flair so much when he first started hanging out with us. He was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. All right, Green Randall, which is better when a next generation superstar takes the gimmick from their parent? Charlotte Flair, Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody when they make their own away from their Bray Wyatt, Dallas Curtis, or when... Well, Green Randall, it just really depends, man. It really depends. I say go off on your own. Be your own man. Of course, you can, if you look just like your dad or whatever, you very talented, go ahead and follow in his footsteps. I can understand that. But most of these guys, the majority of wrestlers that their parents wrestled, they usually fail. They usually fail. So, yeah, going off on your own is a good thing when it boils down to it. It depends, especially if your father was really huge in the business. JL, Brian Pillman made the Hart Dynasty have a cool edge to it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I mean, he was cool. I like his outfit, his gear, his get up, the way he walked to the ring, the way, he had some pretty decent swag. Definitely like that about him. All right, Green Randall, they do a mix of both like Hook. Okay. But yeah, hopefully, guys, Chris will be back in here real soon, man. Let's see, because I definitely want to get started on this, everything that we need to get started on. So hopefully we'll have Chris in the chat very soon. But yeah, like I said, man, NXT, as far as the matches go, guys, if it just matches or whatever, I would have thought that was very mediocre, underwhelming, below average as far as what the matches and everything, how everything played out. But because of the stars that was on there and the way all the storylines went down, I mean, no, not storylines, but the way they did the interviews and all that stuff, and like I said, the stars on there, it brought that show up big time. And I can understand if AEW Dynamite beat it as far as having the better matches and everything, because they tried to go all out, man. They really did. And hey, man, you know, I wanted them to succeed, but I figured this is exactly what I said. They're gonna do 600, 700,000. 600, 700,000. They did 609 or something like that. But I thought WWE NXT would do more. They did 900,000. This is preliminary, guys, because they brought out the ratings today. The complete ratings probably come out tomorrow about how everything went down. But yeah, so in between that, man, 1.5 million people was watching wrestling Tuesday night. That usually don't happen because NXT usually average between 600 to 700,000, 600 lower on 600,000 in. So man, you had almost a million people watching, a million more people watching than usually watch on Tuesday nights. So that's a big win. That really is a big win, guys. All right. Come on, Chris. Need you in here, man. Let's get in here. Let's rock this thing out. Let's get it over. Let's get it done, man. Let's get it done. If not, I'm gonna start talking about some other stuff. I'm gonna be forced to talk about some other things, man. I just picked up a few days last weekend. Picked up this Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the new magazine, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, guys. I really haven't got into it. I used to break these things open as soon as I get them. Now, man, I look at the magazine and say, you know, hey, why, whatever. They always 3 months behind, still 3 months behind like they used to be. You know, I can get it a little bit earlier by subscribing, and I think they have an online. They used to. I know that. I don't think they do now. Had an online version of it or whatever. But yeah, definitely, man. Look like it's a pretty good magazine. One thing I like about the magazines now is every single page is in color. When it used to be black and white. The only thing that was in color was like usually was the like posters and things like that. But one thing about in color and magazines today, most of the things that you get now is when everything's in color, you can tell these pages, man. These pages in the magazine now are these color pages that they are, that they are usually, the pages and everything is recycled paper. They're recycled paper. So they don't look good.
What happened, but I remember we were talking about doggone Brian Pillman. I be talking about recycled paper, but what in the world?
No, man, I'm talking about wrestling magazines, man. I had to go into something else. How long you think I'm gonna talk about Brian Pillman? Wow, wait.
Oh, man, yeah, I had to do a security update, man. Windows, boy, got a security update every time you start up a computer, boy.
Yeah, so I definitely had to get into some other things, man. And while you was off, but yeah, let's see. Green Randall says. Yeah, but Green Randall said something a little bit earlier, man. I forgot what it was, but he was asking, but I have to go back and check that out. JL Ted DiBiase is wait a minute, because they talking about the children of wrestlers, man. But what's the name said? Let me go back. Green Randall said, which is better when a next generation superstar takes the gimmick from their parents? Charlotte Flair, Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody, when they make their own. When they make their own away from their parents, I guess, or make their own away from their parents. Bray Wyatt, Dallas Curtis, or Win, but I guess he's saying or whoever else,
I say, depending on the wrestler, man. Depending on the wrestler.
That's what I said. Yeah,
what you got going on, man? Like because listen, prime example, The Rock. They tried to do The Rock. They tried to have him mixed with his dad and his granddad, and that was trash. That was trash. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but it wasn't him. It wasn't authentic, and it was trash. So in his case, he had to go off and do his own thing and become his own person. Now, Charlotte Flair, you knew when you found out whose daughter that was. It was evident she had no other way to go.
Yeah,
she had no other way to go.
No doubt.
And Bray Wyatt, yes, he's the son of Mike Rotunda, but guess what? You don't see him as no collegiate style, high school style wrestler.
Heck no, heck
No,
no.
no, yeah, he had to find his own way. You know.
Yeah, yeah. My whole thing is, which I already said, is for the most part, and I've seen a lot of father-son duos. I mean, a lot of fathers, sons, second and third generation wrestlers. I've seen a lot of them, and the majority of them has failed. The majority of them has failed. The sons have failed in the business. So my whole thing is go off on your own way. It really, like Chris said, it really depends, and I already said that too. It depends on how popular your father was. And if you look like him, and sometimes you can go with that gimmick, but you better be very, very good,
Mm-hmm.
because man, they are going to compare you. Prime example. I'm gonna look at the best, and I said Dory Funk Jr. is the best I've seen. He was Dory Funk Sr. was a very good wrestler, which none of you guys never have seen. It's hard to get footage of him out there, but he was a great wrestler. Dory Funk Jr. was a better wrestler than his father. Terry Funk was better than his father. So Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk, excellent wrestlers, man. And I'm talking about Terry Funk, guys, before the hardcore era. And I know most of you guys know him from the hardcore era. Even Chris knows him from the hardcore era. Terry Funk before that, when Terry Funk was a two-time NWA World Champion, back when it was hard to get the NWA World Championship. That Joker was an excellent tactician, great wrestler, man, could do anything in the ring. Always calling Dusty Rose an egg-sucking dog.
Yeah, yeah, that he
that was
was
my
doing
man. That was my
that
man.
he was doing for sure.
But he can go move for move with anybody. He was just like his brother, man, but not quite as his brother held the title for 4.5 years, Chris, before he lost. 4.5 years. Dory Funk
That's
Jr.
crazy.
He was outstanding, guys. I love watching him wrestle, man. My mouth was wide open. I don't care. Anytime I see him wrestle, I'm like, a fly could have flew in it. All right, but yeah, Chris, what's the name? Ray Underwood answered about Brian Pillman Jr. And yeah, so I'm glad he came in, because I remember all this stuff now. But he said Brian Pillman won the NWA United States Championship one time. I remember that. That was a short reign. He was an NWA World Tag Team Championship with Stunning Steve. He was WCW. Yeah, he was WCW Light Heavyweight Champion 2 times. That's what it was, because it was the Light Heavyweight Champion.
I knew it was something. I was like,
yeah, it was
before I don't remember that
before the
junior
heavyweight championship, because it got them a little mixed up there. But yeah, he won that 2 times. I knew he had that. I knew he had that. WCW World Tag Team Championship 1 time. So yeah. So I mean, he was okay. He was good over there, but not as successful as he was. Man. Okay. Into the loose character gimmick. So, all right, man. Let's get to where we at now. So.
Yeah, because he got with the Hart Foundation and all that and everything, and was doing his thing with them, which was good. That was a good version of the Hart Foundation. It was like Brett was a sensible one, and you had Brian Pillman, the nutcase, and you had Jim the Anvil. You didn't know what was going to happen with him, what he was going to do,
Right.
But yeah, the Hart Foundation, and then you had the British Bulldog too. So that was a good mix that they had going on when Brian Pillman was over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then, man, Zano, Harry, can you explain why Tony and AEW have to constantly poke the bear like that, bashing WWE either on live television, doing promos, or on Twitter? Man, I look, Anthony, sometimes when you look at things like that, man, people were trying to say WWE, they was putting all these stars on NXT. And you know what? People were actually saying that because they was desperate. That was really dumb. That's really dumb, man. That's just like me and you. That's like me and Chris owning a bakery, and people saying, "Oh, Harry and Chris, they putting out their chocolate chip cookies because they're desperate. They're putting out their chocolate, their yellow chocolate cake because they're desperate. And that's our best sellers. That'd be stupid. That would be flat out stupid. So they're gonna, AEW does that because they like to keep their name in the news, man. Look, when you're getting beat constantly, because look, they can talk all they want, but I look at the ratings. I've been looking at the ratings the last few weeks. You look at Collision, Rampage, and Dynamite. You add all three of those shows. You know what? They don't even beat Raw. Raw beats all three of those shows beat them. Their ratings, Raw ratings by itself beats those ratings by itself.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. That's wow.
Every week, Raw beats though. Every week, man, Raw has been beating all three of those shows by itself. So you have got to have something, and you keep them their names in your mouth. And you look at Tony Khan. That's why he's so reactive. Every time they do something, he goes back and he does something to try to top it or whatever. That way, man, it just like I'm on the heels of WWE and I can keep my name out there because of WWE. That's what he's basically doing. That's why he does that. And he shouldn't do it. Like I said before, I was telling Green Randall, man, Bill Jones stars. And Green Randall said, he went ahead and named all the champions. And the champions are homegrown stars. But it's like I said, Green Randall. Let me go back. Green Randall says Ricky Starks has he's one half of the tag team championships. MJF has the what championship? The World Heavyweight Championship. Chris Statlander was the TBS champion, and it was somebody else had the championship. But I told him flat out, man, it's one thing to put the titles on your homegrown talent. It's another thing to build them. So if you're not building it, it does not matter who you throw the title on. Hey, I can throw the title on I can throw the title on Adam from space or whatever. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. I can bring in a new team called a New Breed, and I know it's been done before, and throw the titles on them. Doesn't matter. And they homegrown talent or whatever. But if I'm not building them up to a path of success and putting them opponents in front of them that's gonna make them stronger and make them meaningful, it doesn't matter. And he had the talent over there to do it. Use some of that WWE talent to build up your own talent, man. Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse. No excuse. All right. JL, I get Ava is the Rick's. I get Ava is the Rock's daughter, but come on, she's turbo in the ring and awkwardly on the mic, and they are setting her up with the bloodline. I think she's pretty good, JL, on the mic. I think she's
decent. She's not nothing.
She's not great.
As soon as she open her mouth, you be like, oh guys, she's on. Ava's gonna be talking. I gotta watch it. She it's gonna take time, man. Some people
it is. And look,
just,
I think
gotta find themselves and find their comfort zone, man.
Yeah,
like JL, like right now, I could take you, JL. I put money on it, JL. I put money on it. I could take you to an independent show right now with less than 100 people in the audience. Give you the mic and give you something to talk about. I bet you would get stage fright and probably couldn't do it.
Probably so. Exactly.
I promise you. That's not everybody's comfort zone, man. That's not everybody's thing. But unfortunately, in the world of wrestling, it has to be your thing unless your character's been set up that way where you don't talk, i.e. Solo Sikoa.
Yeah. And I say, man, if you're a great wrestler, and like I said, some guys is in history just been great, but man, promos just sucked. Hey, Bruno Sammartino, great wrestler, but if he didn't have Arnold Scaling, he needed Arnold Scaling to talk for him. Even Bob Backlund, even though they was great wrestlers, neither one of them was great on the mic. And I heard both of them on the mic. They were both. I'm like, in the NWA, they never would have made it. These Southern people, man, Southern people in the United States jails, Southerners, we talk. You better have the gift of gab. If you want to be popular, you want to have a bunch of friends, or you actually can have friends without that, man. But we talk, and we expect all athletes to be talking, man. So he wouldn't have made it here. They both would have had a hard time here. And Bruno Sammartino did come down and wrestle a few times in the South, man. People didn't really get him. They really didn't. All right. JL Rock's daughter. Yeah, no doubt. JL said Ted DiBiase is a tax evader, so he's rubbish, man. God almighty, JL. He loves talking about people, man.
JL be killing folk, boy.
Yeah, he does, JL. We don't know what's going on in that man's personal life.
Exactly.
Green Randall. I keep hearing people say they want Gunther to vacate the Intercontinental title. I even heard one person say they want him to win the Royal Rumble and do you from Roman before vacating the title. Well, people out here talking, man. People, like I say, that's one thing, and I'm so happy that Triple H is taking that different approach. And what people want, he seemed to reverse the course or don't give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like that about I do like that about him, because WWE for a long time, and you guys know, they was doing what the fans was expecting.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
They were.
Yeah, don't do that. That's just ridiculous. And man, it's gonna make wrestling seem even more set
predictable.
up. Yeah, predictable. So you don't want that. It's kind of like Jamie Purge was asking me yesterday. Yeah, he's like, everything I was saying, he said sounds good. Now, how can we bring back kayfabe? I'm like, you can't bring that back.
You can't bring that back. Unfortunately, that's over, man.
One thing you could do is be so good that people don't even think about that. But it's gonna take, your storyline's got to be so good, got to be so strong. I told Jamie, Jamie, they got to be bloodline worthy. What we just had with the bloodline, they got to be that strong. They have got to be that convincing for kayfabe people not even to think about it. But that's the only way.
And then on top of that, man, not even just your storylines, your life outside of wrestling.
Exactly.
If you really trying to bring that back, man, you got to live your gimmick.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I've told the story a million times. What Ricky Steamboat did to Ric Flair at the gas station.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they was in some town somewhere, and the show was over, and they were going down the street, and Ricky was like, "Hey," he was riding with somebody. He was like, "Hey, let me go get something to eat over at this gas station." He did not know Ric Flair just happened to be in there. He walks in, looking for something to eat. We go down the road to the next show. He sees Rick. He looks around, see all these people in here. He like, okay, I don't know who's wrestling fans or not. I don't know who was at the show. Let me think about this real quick. He walks up to Rick, smacks the fire out of Rick. Bow! Just walks up and smacks him. It's like, don't you ever do me like that, like you did again. I'll get you next week. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you. And he got out of there. And so they meet up at the next show, and they're backstage, and Rick's like, "What the heck did you smack me for, man? What'd I do?" He's like, "Hey, I didn't know who was at the show. I didn't know who was wrestling fans. I had to do what I had to do." And Rick was like, "Okay, cool. I get it." Man, if you're trying to bring that back, man, that's going to take the work of everybody. I'm talking about promoters, the wrestlers, everybody, man. You have, whew.
And you know what? I understand why Ricky Steamboat done it too, because man, back then when that was going on, 70s, in the
80s,
70s and early 80s, man, to the mid 80s, man. If these little territories like the Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling area, Memphis Championship Wrestling, their little syndicated program that was on was on regional TV, was on your local broadcast TV. That them things was reaching like 1.5 million people was watching wrestling. In that, and it went from the Carolinas to Virginia, and South Carolina only had like 3 million people back then. 2.3 million people around the time, because when I was in high school,
it wasn't a lot. It wasn't
2.3, yeah. So there was around 2 million people in South Carolina, and a few million in North Carolina, and then you had Virginia had a little bit less than North Carolina. But in Crockett Promotions, that was their area, the Carolinas and Virginia, their main areas, and I'm pretty sure that happened in between that. So there was a lot of people that knew Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. They knew who they were, and they knew they was bitter enemies. I can understand, them going that far. It's like Tim Woods, man, when he had, that plane crash in North Carolina. It was so important. That was in the newspaper. It was that important for him to show up the next day he wrestled and wrestled. He wrestled that Monday night or whatever.
With a broken neck.
Yeah. And he showed up. That was that important because everybody that was reading the newspaper, you know, they say, wait a minute. Now, what is he doing with these heel breakers? Everybody was talking about that. So I'm just like,
and what's so crazy? And what was so crazy? He actually went under his real name.
Yes, he did.
And at the time, his real name was the same as a local promoter that everybody knew. And they were like, and they were thinking, wait a minute, there's only 2 people with that name.
Mm-hmm.
The people that really knew who Tim Woods' real name was, Mr. Wrestling, and people that knew the promoter with that same name.
Yeah.
They were like, wait a minute. It couldn't have been the promoter.
Right.
Because he was running the show somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been Tim Woods. And if he was, what was he doing in the airplane with all these people that he don't get along with? But then at the next show, it was like, okay, it couldn't have been me. That dude got a broke neck. I'm up here wrestling. So it couldn't have been me, guys.
Yeah.
And people actually believed it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how far that, no joke, guys. That's how far they would go to protect the business, man. They went all out. They went all out because you never knew that, and that's how good wrestling was. Because man, Canada, about 70-80% of Canada followed Stampede that was living in Canada. I mean, Canada had Stu Hart had Stu Hart, but it was only 2. I mean, it was Stampede, and I forgot the other one, but Stu Hart pretty much dominated Canada. But there was so many people that knew that. Like I said, it's Stu. Every single day, the mailman come up to his house. This man wearing a cast, putting that cast back on. So, guys, it was that serious. It was real. It was straight up real. So, K-Fab, if my man Jamie Purge, hey, bro, that'd be the greatest thing in the world to try to bring that back.
But you have to pull that. That would be some hard work, boy.
It would be a serious lifestyle change for a lot of wrestlers, and these guys are not used to that.
I don't know if a lot of them could, but maybe I know a few old school dudes that could probably do it.
Oh yeah.
We know some old school dudes that could do it, but some of these new school, I don't say all, but some of these new school guys, I don't know if they could do it. Some could probably do it, but I don't know if all of them could.
Yeah, exactly.
And Harry, that would even change our lives.
Yes, it would. Yeah,
because we would have the way we would have to interact with these guys.
Yeah,
we have totally to change. And I mean, and when we hanging out with these guys, we got to go somewhere where ain't nobody gonna know us and all this, and we might have to go a couple of counties over to just have a couple of drinks.
Let's go and eat here, guys, or whatever. Hey, we're gonna go in, and you guys come in after us. Go to the back, go into the room. And stuff like, because we have to do things totally different. Because I mean, they'll be looking at us. Why in the world you guys hanging out? Y'all supposed to be partial, But we see y'all hanging with the rule breakers. We see y'all hanging with the fan favorites, So
exactly. So
so anytime they come in and give us a drink or we get wings or whatever, we gotta act like we interviewing these guys or something like that. It would change the whole narrative, and we couldn't have a baby face and a heel together. If we do, we have to act like it's a face off, and they,
or we trying to break up a fight or something. It would be chaos, man.
Yeah, it would be. So a whole bunch of things would change. But hey, K-Fab would be great, man. It really would, and it would enhance everything. But it's a lot of things in wrestling that you do now that they're doing now. It's move wise you couldn't do in K-Fab. You could not have everybody flying around the ring, jumping, catching people in the air and doing all that stuff. You couldn't do all that stuff. A lot of things people understand is a spot. It's a spot, and it's to show off the athletic ability of a wrestler. A lot of things like that you can't do no more. I mean, you wouldn't be able to do no more. All right, Green Roundel, I think that might be one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. The whole point of having the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion is to build it up. Yep, no doubt. When he loses the title, he has to lose the belt. I mean, when he loses the title, he has to lose the title. All right, J.L. Harrington, do you think Big John Studd is better than Yokozuna? Yes, of course, man. I don't know. Yokozuna.
Wait a minute. Now, what version of Yokozuna? Are we talking about when Yokozuna first started? The Coquina Kid? Are we talking about the sumo wrestler Yokozuna?
I don't know
Which
which
version
one
we talking about, JL?
I don't know. Big John Studd was a bad boy. That's all I gotta say.
See,
A
because
bad
the
boy.
yeah,
Yokozuna
but
was.
if you ever saw Yokozuna when he first started as a Coquina Kid, that
I did.
Joker
I
was a
saw him.
monster,
I
boy.
saw him then.
He was doing stuff that he was doing stuff Beta was doing back in the day.
Oh, I know. I remember that.
So hey,
He was man. That Joker
yeah,
can move like crazy. But my whole thing is this.
yeah, he could.
This is what messes Yokozuna up. Okay, when it comes to him and the Big John Studd, comparison. Yokozuna never had the competition that Big John Studd had. So sometimes it's the competition that makes you stand out. And Yokozuna didn't have that. He didn't get to wrestle the Andre the Giants. He didn't get to wrestle Blackjack Mulligan. He didn't get those are the feuds that had John Studd, Ernie Lads, feuds like that. Or Ric Flair. He had a feud with Ric Flair. He had feuds with guys that was Angelo Moscow, King Kong Moscow, Bruiser Brody. He had feuds. He had legendary feuds, and that made him. Yokozuna didn't get that chance to wrestle those guys. So sometimes it's the feuds that you have that make you so great, and I can even go look at somebody like Bret Hart. Bret Hart, as great as he was, Bret Hart didn't get to wrestle the caliber of guys that Ric Flair did. He got to wrestle a lot of great guys, but Ric Flair wrestled a lot more stiffer competition. He wrestled a lot of great wrestlers. That's what made him so great. Even though, like I say, you can look at a lot of wrestlers and say, oh, he's a better wrestler than Ric Flair, because there was plenty. But Ric Flair just got to wrestle. He got to wrestle a who's who of champions, man, wrestlers that was just outstanding, and that's what made him so great. All right, but let's move on, man, so we can get to what we need to get to. All right, JL Brooks looked pathetic crawling back to WWE. Well, he's not in, man. He's still unemployed.
Nope, he's still unemployed. They were like, nope, sir, you are not.
They didn't want that. All right, Green Roundup also, it seems like they had Starks and Bill win the titles to set up a feud with FTR down the line.
That I can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I can too. Green Roundup, based on reports from Cultaholic Wrestling. Okay. Cultaholic Wrestling, man. They know their stuff a good bit. JL, good riddance to Junk. Hope he gets blacklisted like Mr. Crippler. Pretty much it looks like that's what's happening. JL, damn, Harrington, you got me wanting some bakery foods.
Bakery food? What in the world? Y'all been talking about food?
No, we were talking about me and you when I said if me and you own the bakery, me and you own the bakery, okay. With the chocolate chip cookies or whatever, we open up a new one. They don't want us bringing our chocolate chip cookies, our signature, because basically that's their signature people, WWE. So that's basically like telling us, man, hey, don't bring in your signature goods to go up against us. If you do, then you guys are assholes. Then be like Tony Khan when he sent that text to him. You guys are assholes, man. It's a trip. JL says now. Exactly. All right, my man Green Roundel, what is the best way to play Cody versus Roman? It would be repetitive for him to win the Rumble, but Roman losing the title needs to main event Mania. How do we play it? Man,
at this point, the only thing I can think, I wouldn't say for him to win Mania.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not the Rumble. I wouldn't have him win the Rumble. We've already done that. I say one or two options. Either win Money in the Bank or if he can get a I'm trying to think, because I know they do Elimination Chamber. They usually set up a stipulation. If you win the elimination thing, can y'all still? Okay, there we go. The pay-per-view usually goes off. If you win the Elimination Chamber, you can get a title match at the pay-per-view before Mania or something like that. But at this point, I would say let him get the Money in the Bank next year.
Look, I can see that, but I also would like to see him without going after Roman and winning it that way, cashing in to do it. I want to see him do a one-on-one match without any advantages for Cody. But what I think they should do, and I've seen this happen before, you keep those tag titles on Jay and Cody for the next 4 to 6 months, and you make Jay as hot as possible, and Cody hot as possible too. I mean, they need to be a strong tag team, just like the match they just had Monday night. Monday night was a good match. Continue to have matches that caliber and better. Make them very strong tag team champions, but like I say, they got to concentrate on what they're doing as far as the tag team division. Make them very strong tag team wrestlers. Every now and then they wrestle a singles match, and then when they lose those titles, they get mad at each other. They have a falling out, and then next thing you know, those two have a hot feud until the Roman thing happens. Jay gets back in with Roman a little bit, be getting back in, but then Cody has to go up against Roman. So, but Jay let that thing alone, but because those two feud up until he has to wrestle against Roman. I would like that, but you make Jay very hot to where Jay look like he's a number one contender, but Jay is like, hey, I'm trying to hold you off from getting to my uncle, and I'm not uncle into his cousin, but then Cody goes and wrestles his cousin after he beats Jay in a feud, and then he goes and take that belt off of Roman. I would like to see something like that happen, but like I said, you can make because I've seen this happen. I've seen this scenario happen before. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen tag teams where they've used tag teams and made somebody more popular, made them very popular, and then they end up winning the world tag team, the world belt. I've seen them do it with with Lex Luger and Sting. I saw it. Let's see who else I used to see. Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, but that was going up for the United States Championship. I've seen them do that scenario. I've seen that play out plenty times before, and it works. It always works. But you always make your tag team partner has to be just as strong of a wrestler, a competitor that you are. That when you end up getting in a feud with them, that they are just as hot as you are, and you two basically just are going at it. It's kind of like Jimmy Snuka and Paul Orndorff. And I know you don't remember that, Chris, because you was like 2 years old back when it was tag team. They was world tag team champions in the NWA. Then those two ended up feuding. And Jimmy Snuka, man, they were building him up to where he could have a United States title run, and he went and got it from Roddy Piper. Hot, man, very hot to do it that way. I would like to see him do it that way, but I also like Chris's ideas too. But I think it'll work either way it go. All right, Green Ramble, how do you check ratings? I tried Googling it, and I found nothing. It's there, man.
I don't think they're out yet. Are they out yet? Because I'm looking for them right now.
You didn't know?
Yeah, let me go.
What's name one, man? What's name? AEW Dynamite had 606,000 people watching, and AEW Dynamite was 609,000, and what's the name did like 949. NXT did 949.
Wow.
So, yeah, they punished them. Over 300,000 viewers. They punished them.
So you saying AEW got the better rating?
No, AEW did 606,000.
Oh, okay. So NXT
got 900,000. They beat them by 300-something thousand. They got like 949. It was like 949 to 606. I put it in the group. They punished them, man. They punished them. And usually they don't have the ratings the next day. Usually it takes two to 3 days before they get the ratings. Usually NXT ratings and AEW ratings, that Tuesday night rating usually come out on Friday. But they usually have it late night. Sometimes it's usually an early rating. So when the final rating come out, NXT might have done 1 million. And what's the name probably did about 650 when the final rating come out. But that's an early run on the ratings. So, but what's good about it is because usually NXT is the only thing that's on Tuesday nights, and NXT does between 650 700,000, 720 something a little bit higher. They did 850,000 the week before. So we had almost 1 million more fans watching wrestling on Tuesday night.
Wow.
So that little thing that they had Tuesday night was pretty good when it boils down to it. But yeah, they punished them, man. They punished them. And like I was telling Chris earlier, if WWE, they can continue to do things like this. They that's not the only time that they can do this. If they, they got plenty of other stars. They got a lot more stars that they can do this over and over and over again.
Yeah,
It's not
right,
it's not
man.
a one-off.
You're 100% right,
Not a
man.
one-off.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, man. Like I said, we want AEW
To succeed.
succeed. We really do. We want them to succeed. We want them to stay around because competition is good. Competition is good. Competition is needed.
No doubt.
But man, it's something tough when you have to deal with something like that. That's a whole nother beast.
Oh yeah, big time. All right, JL said NXT smoke the let's see 934K I believe compared to AEW 600K. Yeah, it was a little bit different than that, but it's very close. What you got, JL says around that ballpark, no doubt, JL. Yeah, they beat him by 300-something thousand, man. It was a significant number.
Wow.
All right, Green Randall said just rewatched Grand Slam, amazing. Yeah, Grand Slam was really good. It really was, Green Randall, very good. But man, I'm surprised you the first person I ever known that went back and watched the AEW program. And I hate to say that, man. I hate to say that. And there's some few podcasters out here, they talk about that and they say, hey man, I'm not going back and I'm gonna watch, this person, that person. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. I'm gonna watch I'm gonna rewatch Ric Flair against Sting. You're gonna watch those classic matches. I'm not gonna be watching Orange Cassidy, man, against Trent Beretta and things like that. It's true, man.
But there are a few people that will do it, but you don't hear about them doing it. They'll do it in their own time. They're not gonna just come out openly and say, "Oh yeah, I went back and watched Orange Cassidy versus Hook." And what? Why?
Yeah.
But I mean, but there are people that do it. But
but I mean, and straight up, I hate to say it. I really hate to say this, Green Randall. 10, 15 years from now, I just don't think people are going to be watching a whole bunch of this, going back and watching a bunch of these matches. It kind of like,
it hurts.
Yeah, it's kind of like hip hop, and I hate to say it, or rap music. You're not going to have people going back and listening to a KRS-One classic or a Rakim classic. I mean, you're not going to have people going back and listening to a Lil Wayne classic. Just put it that way. They're not going to be going back and saying, man, I got to go back and listen to the Yin Yang Twins. People are not going to do that. They're just not. They're just not. And there's, And it was
funny, man, you talking about KRS-One because, what was it? Tuesday at work, man. I kept saying that Love's Gonna Get You, but it was in my head, man. It wouldn't get out my head, man.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why. I was at work. I was like, I give him a pound. Oh, I mean, to shake his hand. He's a neighborhood drug dealer, my man.
Go uptown. I go upstairs and kiss my brother.
Hug my sister and punch my brother.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
I was like, man, that it wouldn't get up my head, man. It was just that part right there. I was like, golly.
But yeah, man. I mean, you just not. Yeah, it's the same thing, and it's not just with hip hop music. A lot of different music genres now. I mean, most of these guys, and it's the record company's fault, man. They just putting people out there and they just pushing them through. And you got these guys that put their music online, man. Some of these guys are putting out a song a week or a song every 2 weeks, whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's just garbage. It's garbage out the garbage. And I hate to say it, a lot of wrestling today is garbage because, man, when it boils down to it, me and Chris, we can tell you, within a 100-mile radius, man, we got 11 doggone wrestling organizations.
Yeah, that's the honest truth. That is the honest truth.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Betty, Joe Bob, man, just Cindy, whatever, all jumping off their trampoline. I want to be a wrestler. And it doesn't cost much money to be a wrestler no more either. You can train, you go and pay a few $100 and you train. Back in the day, $6,000, you didn't get trained no less than $6,000. My friend Robert, when we worked for Hardee's, like I said, I remember it cost him $6,000. But every time, Fabulous Moolah told me $6,000. Let's see, Ronnie Garvin, $6,000. These are guys who had schools back in the day. $6,000. It's gonna take $6,000 just to start. I remember when Chris went in. Remember Brody Chase? He told you it was a few $1,000s for you to train. It was gonna be So it costs money back in the day to train.
Yeah.
Now like I say, hey man, you got $50, you got $75, come to training.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's cheaper than that when it boils down to it. Come to training, but after you finish the training school, it could be anywhere from $300 to $400. Not good, guys. Not good.
Yeah, because I mean, you gotta think. Some places they be like, okay, you know, that might be, let's say, I don't know, $50 to $75 a week.
Yeah.
And take note, it's non-refundable.
Yeah.
So if you quit and you don't put in a whole month's worth of training, $75 a pop, that money gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And man,
trust me, yeah, I've seen it happen.
Yeah. And look, guys, I mean, you know, I understand a lot of people, they have their little dreams and things like that. And they want to become a wrestler, man. You know, back in the day when I was growing up and Chris was growing up, before we had the internet and everything, people used to want to be seen on TV. People want to be famous.
Mm-hmm,
you know, the things that we're doing now, getting on podcasts and all that, you know, all that stuff was a dream back in the day, man. Hey, I want to be known just a little bit more or whatever. Get out and be able to speak to a lot of people. Chris and I, we just went over 250,000 fans. We appreciate everybody, man.
Yes, thank you,
250,000 views, man. We've had on the Straight Up Wrestling Show on YouTube. We appreciate everybody coming in, tuning in, man, rocking with our videos, rocking with all our lives, man, rocking with our shorts and everything. But Straight Up Wrestling Show has gotten over 250 views. So that's the reason why we have people coming here that's brand new and they know our names. They're coming in, Harry Chris. You know, hey, and Chris and I, we done been to shows and people call out, oh, that's HBT. There's the People's Podcast. You know, hey, man, Chris, we turn around and be like, yo, they call out our regular names. We don't know. So basically, man, you know, this right here, a lot of paths that people have to success now or to be seen didn't have that back in the day. But now, like I say, anybody that dreams of being a professional wrestler, hey, you can come to our school, man. We holding trials at our gym. It can be any little outfit out here, and they say we got a school in here. And you know, they get some wrestler that's trained pretty good, and sometimes they don't get a wrestler that's trained good. And they have a couple wrestlers in there, man, that's been wrestling with their little indie promotion for a couple years, whatever, and they training everybody. They coming in, hey, you pay your little $50, whatever. That's money to their little promotion. That's money to their promotion. Yeah. And so you in there, you paying your little fee, and then next thing you know, within 2 to 3 months, man, you ready, and you get to go and wrestle at all these different local promotions, and then you hoping and dreaming, and you going up against a lot of different wrestlers, hoping that you can make it to the big leagues.
Yep,
it's crazy.
And the thing is, the thing is, honestly, if you want to get signed, and I'm going to tell you what they told me, because when I was training, it was back during the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I was training, and that was when wrestling was hot.
Oh yeah.
When I tell you, they basically told me, they were like, okay, you train long enough, you got potential, you can have what it takes, but ask yourself this: what can I bring that company that they haven't seen before?
Exactly.
That made me think. I was like, holy cow. I'm like, let me see. WWE done had everything from a magician all the way to a garbage man and everything in between.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that's I'm like, out of all that, I don't know what I could bring that they haven't seen before, because that's a wide cast of a net that you're throwing there.
Oh,
and then WCW at the time, they had the power plant, and we had Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker on our podcast. He basically said he was gonna work you like a dog just to see if you could make it through that day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you were dropping anywhere, what do you say, the 30 to 60,000 just to get in the door?
Yeah. What's the name, man? And Brody Chase worked you like crazy too. Man, and that's another one. Nope. That's another Jim Crockett Promotions guy. Brody Chase training Chris. He worked Chris like a dog, but Chris about to die that first day.
But hey, I made it through, man. I made it. I made it
Yeah,
through.
Chris did a good job there, man. But y'all working, boy. He working you, boy. But man, hey, now see what they talking about. Vern gun you, boy. The way Vern gun you, boy. Vern must have been hell, boy. Because they said that was the roughest one. Vern was like, he went to Ric Flair's house about you and pulled him out of bed a couple times. You ain't quitting. You ain't quitting. Man, I'm just like, what in the world? They're like, get in the car, guys.
Man, I think I'm froze again, man.
Yeah, you have froze, man. You are froze.
What is going on? I'll be right back, man.
Yeah, all right, man. Yeah, when you get back, man, we're gonna get to this other stuff. But I'm gonna get to all these comments. Sorry, guys, but man, we like I say, we just rambling on, been on for an hour, 20 minutes already. But yeah, JL says Big John Studd got carried by those he was working with. Same with David Arquette. Well, that's true too, JL, but he was very talented, big and talented. Green Randall, during a recent interview, Ric Flair was asked if you would ever get in the ring again. He said he wants to, say he is in great shape. I swear this man will be on life support, saying one more time. Oh, man, Green Randall, he is in pretty good shape. But the whole thing about it is Ric Flair don't know when to stop, and he doesn't use good judgment. He doesn't use good judgment at all. He's not self-aware. Because, I mean, the man went into the ring last time. He could have done a lot better. But the man decided to go into the ring drunk, man. And, he got dehydrated. Not self-aware, man. Just flat crazy. All right, JL, the tag belts are crushed. Nickels and dime. The tag belts are crushed. Nickels and dimes, worthless and rubbish. Imagine walking in the airport with that atrocious filth. Man, yeah, they done made the belts pretty much. They made the tag belts, especially tag belts. They done made them worthless. It does not matter. Doesn't matter at all. And that's not a good thing. Not at all, JL. But if Cody Rhodes is smart, he's going to make sure that they line up a tag team division. Make that tag team division over there in WWE very good, very strong. That's going to put pressure on Tony Khan to make his AEW tag team division strong too. But, they got to help each other, man. They got to help each other. And my thing is WWE should help Tony Khan. They really should. They really should. I know they're competition and everything like that, but sometimes, man, just help your competition. Really, really and truly. Because it's going to benefit WWE to have very good competition. Don't try to stomp them. Don't try to stomp them out. Don't try to do that. Don't try to do that. All right, and you know what? And as far as Tony Khan saying, let him go ahead and say he beat NXT. Go ahead and let him say that. Don't worry about don't crush him. Don't try to squash him. Just, it was a good thing. It was one thing that somebody said earlier today about a mosquito is really no threat either. But he's small time or whatever. He gets on, but if he gets on my leg, I want to squash him. And it's true. It's true. JL, great example, Harrison. Scott outshined Rick, and became Big Papa Pump, which it elevated his legacy. That's true. JL, well, that's what happens when you put Brittle Taker, Cena, LA Knight, Oscar, Cody, Bloodline, Bronson, and Jay with Pinocchio, Shinsuke McGee, Levesque on the show. Okay. JL, one of my favorite feuds was Booker versus Chris Benoit. And I liked it in WCW. That was outstanding. When Booker and Sharmell turned heel, they were funny, and that remains timeless. Now, if you're talking about the one in WWE, WWF, and that was okay, man. That was pretty good. But yeah, Benoit against Booker T, that 4 out of 7 in WCW, man, that was outstanding. That was incredible. Green Randall, laugh out loud. I had nothing left to watch because of Dynamite on Tuesday. I had it recorded on my DVR, so I decided to give it a watch. I hear you, Green Randall. I hear you about that, man. But I got to finish watching that tomorrow. Rally Sport, my man Will says, hi, Harry, Chris. I'm really not surprised AEW got 600,000. Did you see the wrestlers on NXT? Cena, Oscar, Undertaker, you can't top that. No offense, AEW. No, you can't. Not at all. No, they had no chance. All right, JL says, hello, Rally. All right, Rally says, upset Soraya, not champ, but not a good run as champ. It was crap, wasn't it, Harry? Chris, Hikaru Shida, better. She can have more matches with the title. Oh, I haven't even watched it. I started watching it today Only got 15 minutes in it. I plan on watching the rest of it. I didn't know Hikaru Shida won it. I'm glad she did win it. All right, but thanks, Rally. Rally says, hi, chat. Hi, JL. All right. Rally says, cool stream, guys, as always. Appreciate that, Rally. But hopefully Chris will be back here in just a moment, man. We've been going on and on. We've been going for a long time, guys. But, man, hey, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this little late night type thing. Yeah, I do need to actually get in bed in just a little bit, do some things, man. But Chris ain't not here. So, man, I'm going to talk about this little Pro Wrestling Illustrated, man. Let's go ahead. I'm going to look at some of these ratings here. Let me go to the back, man, check out the ratings and talk about their ratings until Chris gets back here. Guys, I'm going to need to charge my phone in a little bit, or I'm going to be off air too. So, man, hopefully he'll be back here in a little bit and I can go back and get my charger. But, guys, let's talk about this top 10, man. Now, this right here, the PWI official ratings. Let's see if I can get it on screen. Get it on screen, let you guys see what I'm doing. And hey, hopefully you seen on a short or whatever that I had my own official ratings. All right, Rally says, I'm so sorry, Harry. I wasn't meant to ruin it. I do apologize. That's okay, Rally. That's okay as far as that go, because basically I just want to see the quality of the show. Doesn't matter if knowing who won the matches or whatever right now, because I think pretty much a lot of people already said it. I just couldn't remember that one. All right, guys, but this is the PWI official ratings, man. I'm gonna go ahead and put a poster of that. I'm gonna take a picture of it for period ending July 17th, 2023, and let me look at their ratings, man. And I'm gonna talk about what I remember from that time period, and I'm gonna see if I agree with their rankings. But like I said, I just did my own ranking system as far as the top 10 wrestlers in the business, in my opinion, right now. And man, I have to go back and I have to look. I have to look in my notes to see. I don't know where in the world I put my notes to see the top 10 rankings that I had right then. But man, yeah, for period ending July the 17th, 2023. And this right here, guys, once again, is in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Their top 10 rankings, man. Top 10 rankings of the way they saw it in July. This was mid-July, guys. Number one at heavyweight, they had Seth freaking Rollins, guys. And this is the top 10 wrestlers in the world at the time. Hey, Seth Rollins, guys, I agree with that 100%. Because Seth Rollins, ever since he had that title, and even back then in July of 2023, he was defending that title against all comers. So straight up, man, Seth freaking Rollins, I definitely agree with that. He was the number one wrestler in the world at the time. Number two, MJF. MJF in July of 2023, I do not agree with that. I wouldn't have had him at number 2 in July. I probably would have had him around. I probably would have had him. He would have been in the top 10 because he's the world champ. MJF is the AEW world champ, but I wouldn't have had him at world champion at the time. All right, number 3, man, he has Roman Reigns in July. I can roll with that because in July he still was a little active, more active than he is now. He was active and he was defending his title. He was still wrestling and he was on TV. So I will have him at number 3. No, I'm going to move him up to number 2, guys. That's what PWI should have him, but PWI got him at number 3. All right, Chris, let me finish this up. Christopher Burton is back. Number 4, you have Sonata. They have Sonata at number 4 in the Niigata, Japan. Number 5, man, they got Hijo Del Vikingo. Kingo, that the AAA mega champion out of Mexico. Okay, number 6, they had Alex Shelley. Number 7, they had Yumi Yaga, the AJPW Tag Triple Crown champion. Number 8, they had Gunther, WWE Intercontinental Champion. This PWI, man, the PWI rankings from July. But myself, I would have had Gunther way up there because in July he was putting in some work mid-July. So I would have had Gunther probably up there at like number 4, right after. I would have had him at number 3. I would have had Seth, Roman, and then Gunther. I hate to say it, man. MJF, he just, pretty much put himself in that position. They had Orange Cassidy in at number 9 as the AEW All-Atlantic Champion, which they turned that into the international belt. I definitely would have ranked him because he's a champion. Then they had the NWA World Champion Tyrus at number 10, and Tyrus has retired, guys. But I went ahead and go over the top 10. Top 10 of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. But Chris and I, man, Chris.
Oh man, what the world?
Yeah, Tyrus retired, man. Hey, why not? Why not? The guy, The guy works for Fox News. He's on Fox News all the time. If you watch Fox News, if you ever look at any clips or whatever, Tires is always on Fox News. He's got the belt, and he makes a lot of money from Fox News. So I wouldn't be wrestling if I was him either. Why wrestle? You know, he's a commentator,
that's cool. I can see that.
Yeah, he's a conservative. He's a conservative guy. So, you know, but I mean, so he's got a certain amount. He got a certain segment of people that don't like him because you know what he is. I mean, he's black and he's conservative too. So, you know, hey, I'm just like, but yeah, he make a lot of money at Fox.
Hey,
so I
it is what it is, man.
Smart guy too, man. Very smart guy. But guys, we're going to go over Chris and I, we did watch Monday Night Raw too, but we'll talk about Monday Night Raw tomorrow. We'll do a special show. Me and Chris probably do an audio show on that tomorrow, guys, or whatever. But I definitely want to get back and doing those audios. I appreciate it. People listening to that audio, you know, the audio that I did yesterday. I mean, I did that 2 days ago, and I put it up yesterday, but I had to take it down. I reposted it, and there's a lot of people looking at that audio. You know, of me, I was talking about on the audio. I'm talking about Vince McMahon still having some creative control, even though people think he doesn't have any creative control. But better believe Vince McMahon is running that company, man, because he's the chairman of the board. He's the chairman of all of it. TKO Holdings, Endeavor, and WWE. And Vince McMahon can fire anybody off the board. He can fire anybody off the board. That's including Dana White, guys. He can fire anybody off the board. So
and Dana White don't do it directly even work for Vince.
Exactly. So I'm like this, guys. I'm like this. Why? You know, they talking about, you know, they telling everybody they forced that he was forced to give up the creative control or whatever. If you the chairman of the board, how in the world you got people working for you? You got more. He's the biggest stakeholder, the biggest shareholder.
He ain't got time to worry about creative, man. Trust me. He ain't
exactly.
Trying to worry about he got bigger fish to fry.
Exactly. But the whole thing about it is, which I talked to a friend of me and Chris. I said, how in the world that people under you, you're the boss over everything, and then you're gonna have guys that's up under you. They're gonna come and they're gonna dictate to you what you're gonna do. They're gonna tell you, oh, you can't be involved with this creative control. You have no choice. You have no power.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, what kind of garbage is that, man? I laughed my tail off. For people to be thinking that, for them to think that, man. I'm like, look, they did that they did that for a PR, public relations move. That's what they did. You know, it's to get more confidence, into the hands of the people that's watching the product, the consumers. Yep. That's what it was. It's public relations move, and that's all it is to it. But after watching Monday night, like I already told Chris, I don't think he had anything to do with it because that show was just totally different. But Vince have done this before, made it look like, you know, they had shows like that and made it look like he didn't have nothing to do with it. So it ain't nothing fun, ain't nothing new with that. Riley says, you watched NXT, Harry? Yes, we did. Wanted to ask about Jade Cargill looking amazing like a star. Yes, she does, man.
Yes, she
does.
She looks like money, man. Look like money.
Yes, she does. They gonna, and man, and I love that Shawn Michaels when he met up with her and everything. She just looked like a superstar, man. It's all over. All right, let's roll on, man. Let's roll on. All right, Christopher Burden, WWE NXT October 10th, 2023, ratings and reviews. We're about to rock this out, guys. All right, Chris, Cody Rhodes segment interrupted by Ilya Dragunov and Dominic Mysterio with Rhea Ripley. What did you give that, man?
Man, I gave that a thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely thumbs up. I don't know why in the world.
Especially with the announcements, man. Cody had so many announcements, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, good Lord, the man was a guest general manager. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament's coming back.
Yeah.
Later on, sometime next year, male superstar breakout tournament. They're gonna breakout tournament right out there. What else did he say? He said something else was gonna happen too. I forgot what it was.
And LA Knight is gonna be the special referee.
Yeah. LA Knight was gonna be the special guest referee, man. I mean, that's a lot to digest because Harry, and I love that they having a male breakout tournament because you got so many females and males back there that have been training, trying to get on TV.
Oh yeah.
And this is their opportunity and their chance to be seen. So people be like, okay, we see you. You do some things good. You're not quite there yet, but keep practicing. But at least we get to see your face and know who you are.
Oh, exactly.
You know, so that's a good thing there. And then the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament, man, that's gonna be great.
No doubt about that. So, man, I don't know why, but I thought I just had thumbs up on this, but I had 4.5 stars on this. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that 4.5 stars and a thumbs up. So you agree with that?
Yeah, I can roll with that.
All right, man. So next we had the Roxanne Perez versus Asuka match. And man, you know, I thought it was great sportsmanship at the end of the match. Asuka, you know, Roxanne Perez, she got a little shots in, man, but Asuka pretty much dominated the match.
I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, I gave it 2 stars too. That's exactly what I have. 2 stars. I think Asuka should have dominated it even more. And you have Roxanne Perez coming back and doing whatever she could to pretty much stay in the match. And I think it would have. I thought it would have been a better match if it went that way. But it went another way. But I gave it 2 stars. And Asuka, she did show great sportsmanship. You know, she gave her respect at the end of the match. But yeah, 2 stars on that match. All right, next, man, we had Kiana James attack after the match, and Shotzi joining the commentary team. Let's see what was good. I gave that a thumbs up.
Yeah, that was a thumbs up too.
Yeah, definitely. I gave that whole scenario a thumbs up. I definitely like that. All right, next, man, we had Gallus and the Brawling Brutes locker rooms. Gallus and the Brawling Brutes locker rooms were rocking. I said those guys. You know, I gave that their backstage promos, both of their backstage promos, I gave a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then next we had Gallus versus the Brawling Brutes, man. And here's another match. You know, this match should have been better than what it was. What did you give it?
I give it 2 stars on that too.
I gave that one 2 stars too, man. It's kind of funny. But you know, I was wondering about that. But I gave it 2 stars. It should have been a much better match than what it was.
Yeah.
But it was okay.
You got to think a lot of these matches were rushed too.
Yeah, they were
rushed because you had so much star power that they wanted to get on TV. Cena, Undertaker, Heyman, and all them guys. They wanted to give them their shine. So a lot of these matches got rushed.
Yeah, they did. So, but yeah, it's 2 stars in that 6-man tag team match. And it was good to see the Brawling Brutes back over there on NXT. You know, the whole group. Which was very good. But wait a minute, Brawling Brutes, who did they team up with? It was because it wasn't Sheamus.
No, it was who was it? Hold on, I'm about to find out here, man.
Okay, I can't remember who they was teaming up with. But yeah, that was pretty decent. It was decent, even though it was 2 stars on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find out here, man. So
okay.
Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. Jeez Louise. Find out here. Is it?
No, I can't believe I can't remember who that was.
Okay, so it'll shoot. That ain't it. Crap, I thought they had it, but they don't have it on here.
They just got the Brawling Brutes there?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
We might remember. One of us might remember a little bit later. I can't remember who they were. All right, man. Next, we had the Lyra Valkyrie. Versus Becky Lynch Halloween promo. I give that a thumbs up, man. So that promo for the Halloween thing, definitely give that a thumbs up. That was really good. Then we had Tegan Knox interrupts Lyra Valkyrie interview. Gave that a thumbs up too.
I gave it a thumbs up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. John Cena in ring hype up interrupted by Braun Breaker. Definitely give that a thumbs up, man.
Oh, good Lord, yeah, man. That was great.
Yeah. All right. Next we had Cody Rhodes, Tony D'Angelo, Lorenzo Stacks backroom segment. That's another one I gives a thumbs up. Bada bing, bada boom, buddy. And that's Cody Rhodes they set up, Tony D'Angelo, Lorenzo Stacks was basically talking to him about the concept of the match that they want to have and everything. And Cody Rhodes was like, he was rolling with it. He's like, yeah, he's like, a lot of people ask me about things.
It was Tyler Bate.
Yeah, Tyler Bate. Yeah, definitely. Tyler Bate. Yeah. Yeah. He put in some work.
You're a little big man. You're a little big man.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and Cody went ahead and rolled with him. And Cody said, we'll make it like a bada bing, bada boom thing, So, hey, that was pretty good. That was a good one, too. That was another thumbs up. And like I said, man, these promos that they had on the show, intermixing with the top talent, mixing with that talent, guys, you made the show very, very entertaining, guys. All right, next we had let's see, Baron Corbin interview. Let's see. I thought that was good. Baron Corbin had a really good interview. I get a thumbs up. And he looked pretty perturbed, man, when LA Knight's music came on. When he was interviewed by Renee, then that music came on, LA Knight coming to the ring. And Baron Corbin looked pretty upset. But I did like that. I definitely like that interview. So gave a thumbs up to that. All right, man. Then we had Ilya Dragunov versus Dominic Mysterio. That was a pretty good match, man. I gave that 3 stars. What about you?
I give it 3 stars. Well, actually 3.5 because of LA Knight's interaction with the crowd. If you go back and watch, man, I forgot. LA Knight was literally watching the match. And every time he pointed at the crowd was like, yeah.
All actuality, I love it. Because of LA Knight, the way he pumped up the crowd, I did jump it up to 3.5 stars. And what's the name? Trick. Maybe I jumped it up 3.5 or 4. I can't remember. But I didn't write it down here. And Trick Williams came out there and he grabbed Rhea off the ring apron and he was holding her. Yeah. So that right there gave it another star, another half star. So I can go with that 3.5. I can even go 4 stars, but we'll go 3.5. That's fine. But yeah, it did definitely went up. They brought it up with LA Knight, man. LA Knight, I'm glad he was on NXT last night. Like I say, man, hey, I felt good about him being on NXT. He really looked good in that setting. Plus,
well, that's where you want him at anyway, man. You don't want him on the main roster. You want him in.
I like him on the main. No, I like him on the main roster, man. He needs to be a big time star. He's one of these guys that, like I say, he can grab the general public will gravitate toward him. There's no doubt about that. He's a star, man. He's a star. All right. Third. Okay. Next we had Dijak. Dijak's ill-advised attack on Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, because Dijak, remember, he came in and he kicked him.
And Baron Corbin was about to do something.
And Baron Corbin was coming out there. I gave that a thumbs up. I said, Baron Corbin had that in mind, but he got beaten to the punch, or should I say kicked. Exactly. Yeah, I definitely give that segment a thumbs up, man. I thought that was pretty good. All right, next we had Jade Cargill drive-in entry and meeting with Shawn Michaels. Thumbs up, straight up. That's thumbs up.
That was awesome.
And I said Jade seems very happy with her decision. And and Tony Khan offered her all kinds of money, like 2 or 3 times, man. He kept upping it. She asked for more money. He upped it. I think she was like Jim Cornette was saying, I think she was basically trying to get him say, no, we can't pay that. But he went ahead and kept going with her demands. But the whole thing about it is she knew she wasn't going to get any farther than what she had got. Yeah. So she, so I can't blame her with what she did there, man. Just 1 second. I got to get this doggone thing is, oh, man. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, man. Then we had we had Nathan Fraser's confrontation with Dominic Mysterio. Well, this when Dominic Mysterio was going to the back and he was with Rhea and he was saying, hey, what is the respect? What's wrong with these people? Whatever, he had ice on his jaw or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
and Nathan Fraser was back there. And Nathan Fraser, he had that conversation with Nathan Fraser. And then they had a whole bunch of Live Valkyrie was behind him. Those the tall boys, the Joey, whatever the name, those guys are. You know what I'm talking about. He had a group of people around him, they laughing and everything. I thought that was a pretty good segment. Gave that a thumbs up. What about you?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I definitely gave that a thumbs up.
Yeah, I don't know if I gave anything a thumbs down. I think I gave one thing a thumbs down. I'm not sure. Got to get to it. Okay, Lola Vice versus Danny Palmer. Man, I gave that match 2 stars. What about you?
Yes, 2 stars.
Yeah, it barely made 2 stars too. And a thumbs up for the salsa dance. I give Lola Vice a thumbs up.
Hey, man. She ain't Danny Garcia though, man. She need to be like Danny
Hey,
Garcia.
she
Boy.
ain't Danny
Hey, Harry, she
Garcia,
need to
but
be
hey, nobody's Danny Garcia, boy.
Danny Garcia, boy. Hey, boy.
She ain't got that, but yeah, very good match, man. It was just actually, I'll take that back. Thought it was a very good match. It was just short. It was short.
Yeah, like I
But
said, some of these matches were rushed, man. Because they had so much to do and so many people to get on,
exactly.
they had to rush you in there, rush you out.
Yeah, I put in on there. Very good match, but short. All right, man. Chase U segment. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you might give it a thumbs down. I gave it a thumbs up. I said it was hilarious, and it was. And look, without Thea Hale, it wouldn't have been no good. I said Thea Hale and JC, man. Even JC. Thea Hale and JC Jane, nice addition. Man,
I missed it. I think I went to the bathroom.
Man, you out your mind. You didn't see it, man, for real.
Man, yeah, I saw that trash, boy. That was
man. Come on, man. Man, the way Andre Chase, man, the way he cussed out that dude, man, been on his phone and threw that phone up against the wall. You gotta admit it was funny, Chris.
I was like, this Joker. I'm like, nah, see what Thea get it from, man. Look at this fool. Boy, he crazy, man.
That's true, because he was always doing it.
Joker,
I never thought about it, Chris. He was always doing that. And Theo wasn't acting like that at first. So you're right.
I just don't get it, boy. Boy. And I don't understand it, man. It don't make no sense to me, boy. I kind
of like it too, Duke, man. I think Duke Hudson and Andre Chase is a good tag team. So I definitely like that. And they're gonna be in the Bada Bing Bada Boom tournament. So I gave that a thumbs up, man. I said, and I wrote down. Chris probably give it a thumbs down, but I give it.
I give it thumbs. I give it 2 thumbs down, boy.
All right, man. 2 thumbs down for Christopher Burton, man. So I'm going to roll with that thumbs up, man. So we in between with that. All right, man. Shoot, that was funny, boy. That was hilarious. All right, Rally. What the Rally? He said something else. Rally. Let's see. What's that? Daniel Garcia, his dancing is awesome. Yeah. Daniel Garcia will be cracking me up. Who was that dancing on? He had a dance off with somebody last weekend or something like. It was kind of funny. I said, "Wow, man."
But I forgot who it was, but Daniel Garcia is a man, boy. When it comes to that dancing, boy, that Joker, boy.
All right, man. Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker backroom segment gets a thumbs up, man.
Oh yeah, that's definitely thumbs up, man.
Paul Heyman said, "Call Roman Reigns."
Man, but think about it, Harry. If or when Braun comes to the main roster, he would not fit in the bloodline.
No, he's not going to fit in the bloodline. So I don't know what in the world's going to happen there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But Paul Heyman. But I can see Paul Heyman later on being Braun Breaker's manager. Man, he knows. Everybody sees what this kid has. But man, I'm just like, but no, he won't fit in the bloodline. I don't know what in the world's going down there. He can be an associate. Now, if they can fit him in as an associate, like the Four Horsemen had, Lex Luger as an associate when they had only, the original group, and they had Lex as an associate. They can definitely do that. But Braun can't be part of the bloodline. There's no way.
Yeah.
So I don't know what in the world he's talking about. All right. Next we have Brian Pillman Jr. or King Brian Pillman Jr. or Brian Pillman King, whatever because he said he's not going to go by Brian Pillman. So he's talking about he's going to be King or whatever. Or King video segment. Yeah, that gets a thumbs up from him.
Yeah, definitely a thumbs up.
Yeah. All right, man. Oscar backroom segment with Kiana James, Blair Davenport, Kalani Jordan, Tiffany Stratton cutting in front of Fallon Henry. I gave that a thumbs up, man.
that was a thumbs up, man. She was like, I ain't a mark like these girls. I ain't a fan.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That was hilarious. All right, man. The Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker match, man. I gave that 4 stars. Okay. I gave the match 4 stars. And then the aftermath of the match, all the shenanigans around it.
The chaos and everything. Yeah.
That jumps it up to 5 stars, man. Easy. So definitely at the end of that, let's just say I give the
and you missed a segment, man, when Anonymous was videotaping Paul Heyman talking to Ava.
Oh yeah, that right there, I didn't get that one. I saw it, but I did not get it. I didn't write it down. So, what do we think about that? I give it a thumbs up. But I understand what J.L. is saying and other people saying that why is he talking to her and all that stuff, man. But
Yeah,
hey, she's part of the bloodline, man. She's part of that family tree.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. And she's definitely part of that family tree. She's part of that lineage, that history,
Yeah,
and everything, and all that. But I just wonder what Paul Heyman was saying to her in particular.
yeah, I do too.
You know, that's what I really want to know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but man, it seemed like they want to expand the bloodline, but they want to put Braun Breaker into this thing some kind of way, and maybe somebody got a plan on what they want to do with Braun Breaker as they bring him up, and that he's involved. He's involved with. Come on, man, the guy's a wrecking machine, and
yeah, man.
you know you
Yeah.
can put him in front of Roman, man, to be out there wrecking shop. Roman's opponents and stuff like that, so they can use him, and that's probably what he wants to do. Because man, Solo Sikoa, as good as he is, he's not a Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is a dang killer. He's a killer,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're trying to do. But I gave that match 4 stars, man. But it went up to like 5.5 stars. I'm gonna go ahead and roll with 5 stars without everything. Maybe 5.5. I'm gonna 5.5 stars because of what Undertaker done. Or we can just go ahead and I split up the segment. 4 stars for the match, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give it 5 stars for with Undertaker and everybody else involved there at the end, man. But yeah, Undertaker.
Yeah, and when Taker came out, that was
that entrance. Yeah, I did that by itself. Him coming out there on that motorcycle and everything, he looked so cool, man. Got into the ring, and everything he said, what he said to Braun Breaker was exactly right. There's always somebody, young fella. There's always somebody bigger, badder, and that's a bigger, a bigger badass than you. Then always remember that. Oh, a big old badass. There will always be somebody out there that's better. And when he told the Braun Breaker, "Hey, you're gonna be good." He said, "You're gonna be special." He said, "I've been watching you for a long time. You're gonna be special." He said, "But not today."
He's like, you're gonna get there. You're gonna be somebody. You're gonna be a major factor. But
exactly.
Just like you said, it just ain't gonna be today.
Yeah, Braun was all happy. Yeah. But he didn't say that to Carmelo. He said that to Braun Breaker. So basically they're telling everybody, hey, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. But right now we're gonna humble this kid, and that's what WWE been doing. They've been humbling Braun Breaker, and they've been humbling him until they bring him up on the roster. But man, the guy is gonna be something special. He's dynamic, quick, fast, powerful. Can do basically everything in the ring, man. And he only can get better. His ceiling is gonna get better. He's gonna get better and better and better. But like Undertaker said, not today, buddy.
Not today. Not on his watch, but and then what about after they went off the air, man? I don't know if you saw it when they went off the air. Taker and Carmelo doing Carmelo getting to do Undertaker's exit, throwing up the hand and everything. Yeah, because after they went off the air, Taker was walking around the ring, giving fans high fives on the way back to the ramp, and him and Carmelo walked up, had their back to the crowd. They faced the crowd, then they turned around and they threw up the hand like Taker, and that was like an off the air segment. But
wow, I didn't see that. But man, it is so cool for those fans to be able to see Undertaker right now. I mean, that was great, and for him to see all of them, John Cena and Undertaker on the same show. In a building like that, man, that was incredible. That was incredible.
Yeah. And they said they were lined up early that day for that show. They were lined up early for that show.
I'm not shocked, man. I'm not shocked, but that was a great show. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. What's the name? Tony Khan's got to look at his 200,000 plus fans. Where did they go? Where did they go on Tuesday night? They turned the TV on to NXT.
Man, I mean, come on. I showed Harry a picture. This past Tuesday.
Wow.
AEW's live attendance. And guys, like I said, man, we want AEW to succeed. We want them to be prosperous. But guys, when you got people at an arena sitting in the suites, the VIP booths, or whatever you want to call it, and they are watching NXT at an AEW show?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really? Really, guys? That's not good. That is not
No, it's
good. That
not.
is not what you want. So
Yeah.
what I mean, and if Tony Khan, I'm sure somebody's told him or showed him or something by now. If they haven't, they setting up for a major
It
failure. But
it couldn't be 2,000 people in that arena. It couldn't have been 2,000 people in that arena. And these a lot of a few of those pictures you showed me was when matches was going on. And they showed the crowd out there. You know, Orange Cassidy had his belt or whatever, whoever it was. Orange Cassidy up on the ring apron and, you know, standing up with hand up to the crowd.
yeah,
And he showed in the arena, you could see the people around him. But it couldn't have been, it was maybe 2,000, maybe 2,000 people there. But man, there was
maybe.
nobody in that or in that crowd out there. That didn't make no kind of sense. I'm like, they can't
Yeah,
continue
that's
on
not
like
good.
that. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
And Tony Schiavone need to stop fronting, man. You need to be real. Stop fronting. Tony Schiavone said this is a tremendous crowd. He said that early on. He said that I watched the first 13 minutes of the show today, and Tony Schiavone said this is a tremendous crowd today. And I'm just like, Tony, stop the cap, man. That was messed up. Like, dude, you are fronting, man. You're fronting, man, like y'all all that. And you know that ain't true, man. Be real. Be real. If
I mean,
you ain't got nothing good to say about it, don't say nothing at all. Because people are gonna check. That whole that arena was darkened out like crazy, man. It's like 20, like I said, Chris, it looked like the Greenville Auditorium, man, with one doggone light, bro.
Man,
the Greenville Auditorium used to do one light, man, and the whole thing used to be packed. That was funny. That's what was funny about it. But yeah, that thing, man.
But like I said, we want them to succeed. We really do, guys. I mean, we really want them to succeed, but it's just one of those things where you're cutting off your nose in spite of your face. I mean, I honestly truly feel, and I hate to say this, but Tony Khan has too many yes men around him.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Everybody,
he has too many yes men around him.
Somebody that just went over there. I think it's Edge. I think it's Edge. Oh, everybody's so comfortable, whatever. Tony is your friend and all that. Man. I'm like, Edge.
He's falling for it already.
Exactly. Edge, like, you know, he's your friend. Tony wants everybody to be comfortable. Tony wants to be friends. Tony want to hang out. Tony want to do. I said, oh my gosh, Edge, come on, man. You know, I mean, are you so upset at WWE because they ran it like a business, and they expected you to conduct yourself business-like when you came into that business? Are you so upset that exactly. It went down that way? You wasn't, man. Yeah,
I mean,
you're gonna have
he couldn't have been that upset. I mean, he was there for 25 years, for God's
exactly. Sake. Yeah. So I'm just wondering at the end,
so
man.
He couldn't be that upset.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering there at the end that, hey, he was like, hey, I want to have buddies in this business. Did FTR, because I mean, you know, he lived in the same city with him. Did FTR start talking to him, and be like, man, we all friends there and everything, man. We hang out, we do this, we do that, man. It's all good. Tony Khan will take us on his boat. He does this and does that. You need to come with us. Maybe he did that. Maybe, you know, maybe Edge was feeling a certain way. Because I'll tell you what, he definitely wasn't hanging out with Triple H. He wasn't hanging out with Vince. And maybe he thought after all these years that he's supposed to hang out with these people. He's supposed to be doing that. Man, look, I work with plenty of people that I worked with 12, 15 years. I mean, 12, 13 years that I worked with. You know, my last job that I had when I was out there. Look, I didn't expect none of them people to be hanging out with me, man. None of them. Exactly. We friends at the job. Or whether we talk during lunch breaks and everything like that, but we conducted business when we was conducting business, when business was to be handled. But like I said, I didn't hang out with these guys after work. You know, there's a few of them I went to lunch with and things like that. But man, for the most part, it's only a couple of them that I actually ever went anywhere outside of work with. And I'm sorry, it's a flipping business, man. And that's one thing I think a lot of people have lost reality. They have lost that dose of reality that it's a business. And you know, me and you, we see it all the time out here on the media scene. And that's when you are
I mean, and that's why they call it the wrestling business, because the
exactly.
whole purpose is to make money.
That's right.
That's the whole purpose, to make money and to build your audience, build your TV viewership, and pump your promotion up to be the biggest and the best that you can pump it up to be, and also merchandise sales or whatever the case,
Oh yeah.
whatever else. It's a business, man. And I mean, like I said, we want them to succeed. Lord knows we do. But we don't want them to just make these silly, stupid mistakes that could possibly come back and bite them in the butt.
Yeah. And going back to kayfabe, friendship in the business, that's what led to the downfall. That's what led to kayfabe being exposed.
Mm-hmm.
These friends decided to go out there and go into business for themselves, and we see what happened. So, hey.
The famous curtain call.
Exactly. So, man, yeah, I'm just like, you're not here, man. Don't, like I say, don't let me and Chris, like I say, we're going to run other shows, but don't let us be in charge of our own wrestling company completely, man. That's all we're doing. Because hopefully that's what we'll be doing here soon. But, man, hey, friends, we're going to tell every one of these guys, okay, hey, guys, hey, you guys can be friends. Hey, me and Chris, we're just like we are with you now. We're friends. We're friends with you guys. We are your friends. But man, we're friends inside. We're friends inside of the building when you're not wrestling out there on the floor. You're not getting told a story. You're not getting told, whether you're going over or you're gonna job tonight. We're not friends during the time. After the show or whatever. What's up, man? Hey, hey, if we all in the same vicinity, we all hungry or whatever, we can go down the road at the Waffle House and chill with each other if there's not a lot of people there or whatever, and we eat or whatever. But inside of that building, man, when it's time to conduct business,
it's business.
It's business. And don't expect us to be, just because you wrestle for 7 years, 8 years or whatever, and you've been there the whole time, that me and Chris are gonna buddy with you. We're just not gonna do it, because I'm not going to be at your house. I'm not going to be asking you to come to my house and things like that. So, I mean, this is what they seem, the guys over there in AEW, this is what they seem like they want from Tony Khan.
Yeah.
And this is what Tony Khan is giving them.
Yeah,
and that's
the thing, man. That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Like when we did my wife's promotional show, benefit show.
Yeah.
When we did my wife's benefit show, every last one of those guys that worked that show knew who was in charge.
Exactly.
They were like, okay, we know Chris and Harry are in charge. They knew I was watching the back. You were on commentary watching what was going on outside.
Yep.
Out in the ring. And even sometimes I would leave the back because everything was cool. I would go out, sit in the crowd, and I know you saw me. I was watching the crowd's reaction and watching what was going on in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was looking. Because one point in time, when Brino, who was Brino wrestling? Brino,
Jet.
Yeah, when Brino was wrestling Jet, AJ looked at me and he was looking for some direction. And I literally was looking at the crowd, seeing what kind of feedback was going on. And it was good feedback. And I was like, keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, okay, gotcha. Because I was trying to see, I was gauging everybody's reaction to what they were doing. And you got to do that because I'm not knocking it, but I am. Every referee should know how to, and we've said this, should know how to read the audience and communicate to the wrestler, because the referee, and it's been stated on many different podcasts other than ours, and before we even had a podcast, the referee is the third man in the ring.
That's right.
And his or her job is to guide the wrestlers when they should up their movement, their spots, or slow it down, engage the crowd, and get the signal from the back to either pick it up or go home.
Oh, yeah.
So the referee has a lot of responsibility. And
no doubt.
every referee on these indie scene cannot, and I will say it, cannot do that.
That's true. That's true.
Now there are some that can, but everybody can't do that. And see, and when I was out there in the crowd and my wife's benefit, I was doing that. I was gauging, I was looking and communicating with those boys, and I was like, okay, keep it going, turn it back, hey, wrap it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know? And that's how you got to do it. And like I said, they knew who was in charge. They knew what was going on. But during that was those 2 hours, I think the show was, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They knew, okay, we can't be buddy. We got a job to do. Chris and Harry expect us to do our job for this time that we have allotted for this show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now after the show was over, okay, cool. We can go out and have a couple of drinks. We can go out and chill. Sure, no problem. Business is done and taken care of. But while business is going on,
oh yeah. What's up, Marcus? But yeah, as soon as we came in, and and basically had the chart, had everybody, every match and who was going to go over and what they was going to do. Already had all that written out, everything planned. I remember Justin Kendrick. He asked me, man, I had the handicap match. Those two against who they against Cooper Housley.
Cooper Housley. Yeah,
telling them how it's going to be, and Justin Kendrick started telling me, man, why don't we do this? Why don't we do it? I said no, and then finally, I'm sitting there listening to him. I said, you do what I tell you to do, and that was it. After that, man, everybody knew. They knew exactly me and Chris meant business, and we wasn't taking no mess from nobody. I said, you do what we tell you to do. These wrestlers today, they want to do what they want to do. And I'll tell you what, and these indie guys are coming up, and a lot of indie guys are dealing with Tony Khan. These guys are coming in, they telling Tony Khan what they want to do. And where did Bryan Danielson and all these guys come from? And they came off the indie scene, went into Ring of Honor. So, they say, hey, man, we got a chance. We can get to do this in WWE. We got a chance. And Young Bucks, they never went to WWE. We got a chance to tell Tony Khan, hey, we want to do this and we want to do that. And Tony Khan says, sure, go out there and do that,
Because he's a fanboy. He wants to see it.
Yeah, you gotta have some structure in this business, man. You just do. You gotta have structure. And like I say, Tony Khan, I want him to succeed. But until Tony Khan get somebody in there, man, that's not going to be a yes man, and that's going to say, no, this is the way it's supposed to be done, and this is the way it has to be done. He's in trouble. And look, man, Jim Ross, man, look, I put something up in our group. Jim Ross been out here. He's saying things on podcasts, and I've heard him say it live. He's on a podcast with what is Ric Flair's son's name?
Conrad Thompson.
Conrad Thompson. And Jim Ross done got on there, and he done said this, and he done put it out in tweets and things about that he can't stand that bullshit. They flipping and everything like that. I ain't come out here for all that. And then he's on the podcast, instead of Tony Khan saying something to him about it, saying, man, why don't you tell me how you really feel and whatever? What am I doing wrong? Him and Tony Schiavone will go out there, and Conan too. And Conan was over there working with him for a little while. They all go on the podcast and dog him out, but then they go on the show and they let all the stuff go on. Man, me and Chris is up there. I'll be like, look, man, you might fire us or whatever, get rid of us, but we're gonna tell you the truth. We're gonna tell you straight up that hey, what you're doing is not gonna build your audience. It's pretty stupid. It's gonna get old. It's repetitive. We're gonna tell him that straight up. All right, Marcus Brown, man, says, Harry and Chris, I seen a picture of Paul Heyman and Jade Cargill in it. I wonder if he's trying to recruit his next group of future stars. Probably so, man. Probably so.
Probably.
Jade Cargill, Braun Breaker, and Ava Rain. He probably is, man. Probably is. Very smart move. That's what he's doing. Because, like I say, we don't know how long Roman's going to be there. And then without Roman, there is no bloodline.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. There's no bloodline. Jimmy and Jay could be champions, tag team champions, or whatever. But I think their stock gonna go lower, especially Solo Sikoa without Roman there. Yeah. All right, Marcus Brown, Harry and Chris, Tony Khan is making it hard to support his company. He's acting too much. He's acting he's too much of a headache. Well, that's true, man. He is making it hard to support his company. I hate to say it, he really is. But yeah, we still want to see him succeed, man. But all this stuff is on him, and he's got to realize that himself. He really do. But yeah, we definitely wanted to succeed, man. And I'm gonna watch that show. I'm gonna watch that show tomorrow sometime. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm probably going to come on. But me and Chris, we did watch Monday Night Raw. We're going to try to get into that. But, Chris can't watch Impact, so we're probably going to have another show probably like this or whatever sometime tomorrow because he can't watch Impact. But we definitely going to try to do something. We're probably going to do audio. I might come out your way, Chris. I might meet up somewhere. We might do an audio podcast. But, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you guys coming on with us, man. And let me see. Give me just a second, guys. But, shoot, boy, this is just getting crazy. No doubt. Oh, boy, no doubt. Man, yeah, because I am losing, and I'm losing power too, guys. So, yeah, we need
I hear your mic up here crackling and stuff, man.
Yeah,
I hear you over there. Sound like
your power about to go out. But,
yeah, he's out of there. But, guys, yeah, he lost power, man. He lost power, guys. But, guys, hey, like I said, man, I give NXT, 4.5, 5 stars for overall show. We'll come back and we'll review AEW. After I haven't seen it, but I'll go back and try to find it and watch it. So we can come back and review it and hopefully give you guys a straight up honest review of Tuesday AEW show and everything. And so, yeah. But before we get out of here, guys, I don't know if Harry said it. First of all, thank you guys. Thank you guys for this right here, guys. Without you guys, this would not be possible. Boom. That right there, guys. 252,000 views, guys. That is 252,090 views to be exact on the Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause, guys, because it was all for you guys. You, the fans, were ones that were able to make us who we are, man. Without you, you guys would not, we wouldn't be here, guys. And we thank you. We appreciate it. And since we're on that note, like I said, I don't know if Harry's mentioned it or not. If you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. And if you're on YouTube, which a lot of you guys are, hit that like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ding, ding, ding for times like this when we're on live talking about stuff, talking about random things, or even talking about reviews of shows that we could have done live but weren't able to. And if you're on Twitch, simple. Do the same thing you do on YouTube. And if you're on X, that's right, X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, tweet, and retweet, and follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys. But guys, like I said, hey, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it. Much love to you guys, man. JL, Marcus Brown, Will Raleigh, Green Randall. Who else we had on here? Brian Bullet on Facebook. Anthony Mazzino on here. Ray Underwood, my man, on here. Who else do we have on here? Let me go through here and see. Who was that on Facebook? My man on Facebook. I forgot your name. I'm sorry, bro, but thank you for coming on Facebook. Who else? And anybody else who may have watched it. But thank you guys. We appreciate you. And hey, till next time, I'm the People's Podcaster from my man HBT. Y'all stay straight up. We're out of here. Peace.